You've been limited in practice this week. Just how are you kind of working back from that leg injury?
Yeah, I'm taking my time. I feel really good, honestly, and excited to get out there and play again tomorrow, work on things that we need to work on, and yeah.
You're watching World Hoop, and if you live for those high-octane, jaw-dropping moments that make basketball the greatest show on earth, then buckle up, because what we're about to dive into isn't just a game. It's a powder keg, a seismic event that has rocked the WNBA to its core.
I'm just going to, reflect back and appreciate everything we've been able to accomplish together.
What will you remember from this team?
I think,
Remember that Brooklyn logo bomb from Caitlin Clark? The one that left defenders bewildered and fans screaming? Well, today we're focusing on a different kind of explosion, one that erupted not on the court, but on the sideline. We're talking about the viral moment that's got every single person with a pulse talking. Caitlin Clark's explosive exchange with Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White and her coaching staff. This wasn't just a heated moment. It was a defiant statement. Caitlin Clark has had enough, and she let it be known in a way that's sending shockwaves through the basketball world.
What would you say drives you, and how would you describe your on-court mentality?
Yeah, I think what drives me is just,
So grab your popcorn, hit that subscribe button, and let's break down exactly what happened, why it happened, and what it truly means for Clark, the Fever, and the future of the WNBA as a whole. The volatile summer of 2025. A season on the edge. First, let's set the stage. It's July 2025, and the Indiana Fever are smack dab in the middle of a roller coaster WNBA season. Caitlin Clark, the generational talent who has become the undisputed face of the franchise, has been battling more than just opposing defenses this year. Injuries have been a relentless plague, forcing her to miss a staggering 10 of the Fever's 18 games so far. We're talking about a 5-game stretch due to a groin injury that sidelined her since June 26th, leaving fans holding their breath with every update. Despite these agonizing setbacks, Clark has been an absolute force whenever she steps on the hardwood. She's averaging a sensational 18.2 points, 8.9 assists, leading the WNBA, by the way, and 5.0 rebounds in the 9 games she has played. These aren't just good numbers. These are bona fide superstar numbers, a testament to her unparalleled impact. Yet, despite Clark's brilliance, the Fever's 9-10 record paints a picture of a team struggling to find consistency, especially in their star point guard's absence. Enter Stephanie White, the Fever's head coach. She made her triumphant return to the franchise in November 2024. Fresh off a successful stint with the Connecticut Sun, White is no stranger to Indiana basketball. She bled Fever Red, playing for the team from 2000 to 2004, and even led them to the WNBA Finals as a coach in 2015. She's renowned for her fierce intensity, her unwavering defensive focus, and her uncanny ability to squeeze every last drop of potential out of her players. But this season, with Clark's frustrating injuries and a roster overhaul that brought in dynamic new faces like Ari McDonald and Sophie Cunningham, things haven't exactly clicked into place the way everyone had hoped. The Fever have shown tantalizing flashes of brilliance, like their commanding Commissioner's Cup win over the Minnesota Lynx. But they've also suffered some head-scratching, soul-crushing losses, such as the recent 80-61 blowout at home against the Golden State Valkyries, a game that seemed to epitomize their inconsistent struggles. The spark, a sideline showdown, ignites the internet. Now let's talk about the moment that didn't just set the internet on fire, but lit it up like a bonfire.
You're not patient.
all right, fire away.
Welcome back.
Appreciate it.
You said that you're not patient. How hard have these 5 games been?
Posts on X, formerly Twitter, from users like at Coach Walker and at Poker Bluffs Girl have been circulating a video titled, and I quote, "Caitlin Clark confronts Stephanie White in heated locker room scene." The clips are short, unverified, and intense. According to these viral posts, the explosive exchange occurred immediately after that demoralizing loss to the Valkyries. Clark, fresh off a return from that groin injury, had a modest performance, putting up just 10 points on 4 for 12 shooting. The Fever, as White herself bluntly put it post-game, got outplayed, out-hustled, and lacked competitive fire. And Clark, a player known for her insatiable, almost pathological competitiveness, simply wasn't having it. Not from the coaches, not from the passive game plan, and certainly not from a narrative that the team's struggles were merely about a lack of execution. So what exactly went down? While the full, unedited details of the locker room exchange remain tantalizingly murky, after all, ex-posts aren't exactly primary sources for forensic analysis. The circulating clips paint a vivid picture. They show Clark animated, gesturing passionately, and undeniably raising her voice as she speaks to White and assistant coaches Austin Kelly and Bob January. From what we can piece together, Clark's palpable frustration stemmed from the team's approach in the Valkyries game. She reportedly called out the coaching staff for a game plan that, in her view, didn't play to her unparalleled strengths, particularly her ability to push the pace, create havoc in transition, and unleash her devastating offensive arsenal. Sources close to the team, like the Indy Star's Chloe Peterson, have noted that Coach White has been trying to get Clark to play more off the ball, theoretically to reduce the immense pressure on her, especially with the emergence of Ari McDonald as a dynamic point guard. But Clark, who has spent her entire career with the ball in her hands, dictating the offense and bending defenses to her will, seemed to feel stifled, held back from her natural inclinations. Her game is built on blistering speed, unparalleled court vision, and those audacious, jaw-dropping logo-range threes that have made her a household name. Her 8.9 assists per game lead the entire WNBA, and her ability to dissect defenses with her passing is unmatched. But in the Valkyries game, the Fever's offense looked stagnant, predictable. They shot a dismal 45.8% from the field and struggled to move the ball with any fluidity. As White herself subtly hinted post-game, Clark's frustration likely stems from a glaring disconnect between her natural, explosive play style and the coaching staff's seemingly more conservative, structured strategy. White's theoretical plan to pair Clark with McDonald and have her play off ball makes logical sense. It could give Clark a much-needed break from constant defensive attention and allow McDonald's speed and grit to shine. But in practice, for Clark, it might have felt like a suffocating limitation, a leash on her boundless talent. A fiery history, Clark's unshakable intensity. This isn't actually the first time Clark and White have had a moment that caught attention, hinting at the fiery undercurrents of their dynamic. Cast your minds back to July 4th, during the Fever's dominant 81-54 win over the Las Vegas Aces. White picked up a technical foul late in that game for arguing with the refs, a classic coach move. But it was Clark's reaction on the bench nursing her injury that went viral. She popped up, flexing, pumping her fist, and cheering like she had just hit a game winner herself. White later joked about it, quipping, "Caitlin says she's got me though," a light-hearted reference to the bonus money from a Commissioner's Cup win. That moment, seemingly benign on the surface, revealed the raw, undeniable bond between Clark and White, two individuals who both love the game with a junkie's passion. But it also hinted at Clark's intense personality. She's not just a cheerleader on the bench. She's a leader, an alpha, someone who wants to control the narrative and dominate every facet of the game. The magnifying glass. Why this moment exploded. So why did this particular locker room exchange hit such a nerve? Why did it spread like wildfire across the internet? For one, it's Caitlin Clark. She isn't just a player, she's a cultural phenomenon. Her rookie season in 2024 shattered records. Her off-season training photos went viral. She's the odds-on favorite to win MVP in 2025. Every single move she makes, every gesture, every whispered word, is magnified under the blinding glare of the global spotlight. When she's captured calling out her coaches, it's not just a run-of-the-mill team squabble. It's an instant headline, and the Fever front office knows it. Team President Kelly Krauskopf recently came under fire for comments about building the Fever into an enduring brand like Apple, with Clark as the undeniable centerpiece. Those remarks, which resurfaced around the same time as these locker room clips, reportedly led to Krauskopf deleting her X account after a furious backlash from Clark's intensely loyal fan base, who felt she was reducing their idol to a mere marketing tool. But let's not simplistically paint this as just Clark versus White. There's a much bigger, more complex picture here. The Fever are a team in transition, with a loaded roster featuring Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and new impactful additions like McDonald and Cunningham. They're trying to seamlessly blend a high IQ, ball-dominant guard like Clark with a fast-paced, defensive-minded system under White. And they're doing it all while managing Clark's injuries, which have forced the team to desperately find an identity without their gravitational star. When Clark was out, players like Boston and McDonald stepped up admirably. Boston has been an absolute beast, boasting team-high PER and net ratings, and McDonald has been an undeniable spark plug at point guard. But when Clark is on the court, the game plan fundamentally shifts, and that adjustment hasn't been as seamless as desired.